Well, one of the questions we ask is like, what's one of the weirdest gigs you've done? And I'm sure like doing comedy in Dublin, you've ended up on some weird shows.
Oh God, yeah, but yeah. I think the weirdest one is actually a hometown gig I did.
Oh, really?
Or not a hometown, a home county. Yeah,
What was the official home county?
I'm from Donegal.
Donegal. Okay,
and there was a festival in Donegal, and he hates when I say this because I'm always like, it was booked by Joe Rooney. No, there was like a Father Ted weekend, right? And I'm not in Father Ted.
Yeah.
Basically, you get a weekend ticket. You do the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday night was just other comedians on, right? But didn't really say that, so people are expecting Father Ted people, right? I walk in. It's in a hotel. There's about 100 tickets sold, but it's in a room that could hold about 5,000 people.
Oh,
and they're all in round tables, like wedding tables, and spaced away. And I'm like, total disaster. This is over before it starts.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, right? It was so bad, right? So it's because of hometown. My mum's there, my dad's there, my granny's there, and two of my aunts, two of my uncles.
Front table.
Extended family. Luckily, they did take the back because I made sure, right? But it was actually worse at the back, right? Because basically it all kicked off because people were waiting an hour and a half for it to start. There was some problem with the sound system or whatever, and I was like, this is going to be the worst gig. They were like, Ryan, you're a little bit more along the way. You're going to have to change. You go on first and deal with this. And I was like, yeah, no worries. It couldn't have went worse. I did one joke, and I am one-liner. Like, it usually takes 30 seconds. I did one joke, and then 20 minutes of crowd control because some guy. I was like, I was doing that immediately, like within 30 seconds. I'm not the fucking. I'm booked here. I'm annoyed too. Like, it was a nightmare, and I was like, oh my God. And I was like, if you want refunds, they're in the hallway, there, whatever.
Go get them.
And this guy went up at the start and goes, he just stands up the front row and he goes, I paid 20 quid to see Dermot Morgan, not you. And I was like, he died. I was like, he's dead. I was like, he died in 1998, you fat cunt, right? And then whole thing went arseways. They're fighting. There's a couple fighting in the front row. There's a couple as well at the very stage, right? They kind of made it more sad, even though they were trying to back me up. They're like, no, they turned at the crowd going, no, we seen him in Dublin. He's very funny. And I was like, oh, that's actually worse. Just, like an echo of two people going, no, he's actually good. No, just listen.
And that wasn't your family, right?
No, it gets so much worse. So that bald guy, the guy's thing, he starts fighting with another person on the table.
Yeah.
Right? So now there's fighting going on in the whatever. Basically, by the end of it, I had walked 52 people out of the 100, right? But when the guy goes out the back, all I can see from the stage is my dad fighting him, getting up out of the chair, and then my dad and him falling through the double doors at the back while I'm on stage. And I'm like, oh my God, right? So the whole thing is a total disaster. I go off stage, right? And my grandmother's never been to a comedy gig before, and she's got like tears in her eyes. Like,
oh
no. And I was like, this is like shit you dream about in hell, right? I'm not allowed in. I'm staying in that hotel, but I'm not allowed to go to the residence bar because there's people looking for me, right? So I go to sleep in the hotel. I wake up the next morning for breakfast, and the fucking looks that the entire breakfast place when I'm walking in, right? Like, this isn't my fault. They all feel like they all blaming me for running this thing, and I was like, it's not me, right? But anyway, when I go in, my grandmother was like, Ryan, I think you should probably learn to tell some jokes. And I go, that wasn't my set. I was like, she thought that was what I do. I just go on stage, tell one joke, and then just cause World War III and make 50 people. She goes, you think you'd tell a joke, Ryan? I was like, I specifically only tell punchlines. I was like, fuck's sake.
Just the image of like her crying, your dad fighting the guy, just pulling out nunchucks from behind his pants. Like it's just so grim.
Falling through the double doors while you're on stage. And he's too far away because, like I said, it's such a massive room. You can hear the wobbles of the door and the scuffle.
Oh my God.
Like, I had to do another gig in front of them, a normal one. I was like, otherwise I'm like, I'll get no backing from the family for doing this job. And I was like, it went really well, and I was like, never again now. I was like, never again.
Yeah, I've proved it. You
retired. You're not. Yeah, you pieces of shit.
And this is the first time I've told this story in this kind of a setting, which means if you like, we might find some funny shit in it, which means I can finally do it as a bit. But it's I'm warning you. It's like, you might not even be bad. You're Canadian. You might have heard this kind of story all the time, right?
Okay.
So we do Montreal. We do we do Montreal, and then Ottawa, and then Toronto the next night.
Yeah.
So and we drive the whole way. So Ottawa, it's a blink and you miss it one night stop at the Laugh.
Yeah. Nick Birdie's shows.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Nick Birdie's shows, an underground little bar
Under Tucker's Marketplace.
Yes,
Yeah, I've done it.
sick
It's
fucking
great.
place, right? We arrive, barely enough time for me to drop my bags at the Airbnb, get to the place. It's a snowstorm. Yeah, I think it's like minus 18 as well. Snowstorm. Everybody's packed in. I've obviously never been to Canada before. Ottawa, in every sense, is Canberra in the snow.
Yeah.
In every sense.
Way prettier though.
And Ottawa was also awesome. Had a great time. Everybody that came to the show stuck around with us afterwards because they didn't want to go out in the snowstorm. We were all drinking together. My promoter, Eva, who's also a comedian, she came with me. Her and her partner were like showing. They like drove me, and her thing is like the shows that she promotes is like she gives out tequila shots to everybody before the show to get the vibe high, right? I didn't drink before Montreal because I was so nervous. I'm like, this is my first time performing in North America. Is my accent gonna translate? Are my jokes gonna translate? Montreal, it went so well that I'm like, this is gonna be fine. This is great.
Cool.
So I had a tequila shot. Then I had another tequila shot. Then I decided I'm feeling a little bit like on the down slope now. So I'm going to have a double scotch and Coke Zero.
Before the show?
Then I have another double scotch and Coke Zero. Then I'm going to do the show. Then after the show, because there's a snowstorm and everyone's sticking around to drink, I've still got X amount on the bar tab that we've agreed.
Oh, they fucking do you on that bar tab.
Yeah, but then I'm sitting talking about football with Nick Burden, who likes it more than he likes hockey.
Yeah, well, he's a pussy.
We had a good chat. Me and him, more tequila shots, more double scotch and cokes.
Okay.
He has a champagne bong. Have you ever seen one of those things? Like a champagne glass with a big tail. So it's for like champagne, which you're not supposed to, like, I don't
do that.
You shouldn't drink champagne anyway. You know, it's gross. But this is what we've done. So I'm walking out of this place at I don't even know what time.
Stumbling out.
Just
Yeah.
Depending on how much we drink tonight, you may see this. If I get to a certain level of drunk, I have the possum spotter. You heard that some of the Aussie comedians call it a possum spotter. This is not mine. It's like Sean Woodland, Luke Hagee call it possum spotter, where your eye just starts drifting. Yeah. So like I'm talking to you, but my other eye is looking for possums.
That's so funny.
I get that.
That's so
if I drink enough. So I'm like I'm spotting at this point. I'm spotting possums with both eyes. Someone's here and I'm like looking that way. And they're like we don't have possums in Canada. I'm like.
I'm raccoon spot.
That's it. I'm like, who's looking out for him, bro? Your eyes are this way. How you gonna ever see him? So we go to next door. I don't know what time it is. I've had one more beer with Eva. We come out. We're both waiting for our Ubers. Their Uber's going that direction. My Uber's going that direction. Both 10 minutes away. We're having a great time. She pulls out a joint.
Okay.
I'm like, give me a toke.
Oh God.
Yeah. And, you know, this is obviously not for your benefit, but for the benefit of anybody listening that is not privy to this information, weed in Canada is not like decriminalized like it is in Amsterdam in America. Weed in Canada is legal.
Yeah.
So it's fucking Kmart, McDonald's, dank. It's fucking,
shop. Yeah.
Yep. And that means that the stuff.
You walk in, get whatever you want, whatever strength you want.
Absolutely. I got some weed beef jerky. That was pretty good.
Oh, dude, I've had
weak
weed
as
bits
fuck.
and bites.
Yep.
I've had like weed fondues before.
So this joint toke that I had was, yeah.
Because the people who now are in Canada who smoke regularly can't get high off the weak stuff.
Correct.
So they
their
have
tolerance
to smoke
is fucking
the
up here.
strong.
So if you're hanging out with stoners there and you have one toke of their thing, it's like, oh man, I don't know where I'm at. And I had already had all of the drinks that I told you that I'd had. So now it's just scene missing. I will never know what happened next.
Blacked out.
I cannot like play the tape nothing. CCTV footage has been edited. It's gone. I don't know what happened.
The eyes are all fucking.
You're
Steve Buscemi.
I
in
finally
Mr.
found.
Deeds.
I was the only person that found a possum in Canada. That was what happened. Next thing I know, my Uber has. I got into an Uber at some point.
Yeah.
He's dropped me off nowhere near where I'm staying. My bag is gone. My bag has got. I changed, so the thermal top that I had was in. I'm still wearing thermal pants, but I changed for the show, so I've just got a shirt, jacket. My bag is gone with my medication, my charger, my key to get into the Airbnb. I had the code to get into like the lobby area, but I didn't have the key for the room that I was staying in, and the thermal top and a bunch of other shit. Gone. I look at my phone, 31%.
Not bad.
7-minute walk that way. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's go. We're walking. I make it maybe like 20 meters, slip, hit my head on the floor, can't get up, snowstorm, minus 18 degrees. And Evan, I genuinely made peace with life. I was like, this is it. Has to be. Like, there's no.
You can die.
Yeah. It's that's it. Like
Dude,
I couldn't get up.
That's our equivalent of getting caught in a riptide.
I suppose it is.
Yeah.
I suppose it is.
It's black ice.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. You're walking and then done. You know how many grannies go out that way?
I believe it.
Straight up, dude.
But the reason why you alley-ooped me with it is because you said to me, like, there's nowhere with snow in Australia. So I've been that fucked up before. That's not a new thing for me. But in Australia, as you well know, if you get that fucked up, the worst is that you're in someone's lawn and the sprinklers wake you up. You know what I mean? I've never had freeze to death been a consideration.
Freeze to death, bro.
And I I'm telling you.
It takes longer than that to freeze to death. And if you have that much alcohol in your system,
It'll keep you alive.
yeah.
Yeah, probably.
No, like 100%.
That probably is what happened because half an hour. I was in the snow for half an hour.
Oh, you're fine.
Definitely fine, but there was no one around.
So you just couldn't get up. You were just
Could not get up. I kept trying to get up. Could not get up.
So you're just Uma Thurman and Kill Bill, just wiggle my big toe.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Until I don't know what she was doing out, but some Canadian lady walking past.
Hey there, bud. You okay?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mustered all of my strength. Fucking sat up out of the snow like the Undertaker, just like sat up and all the snow's falling off me and I'm just looking at her. And in my head, what I was trying to say to her was, hey, I need you to know that I'm not some idiot uni college student that's passed out here. I'm actually a very respectable comedian from Australia who's here to do work.
That's a lot of words you're putting it out.
32 years old and I'm thinking in this moment, like I'm saying this to this lady. Yeah. I'm like, I'm a 32-year-old grown man. I've just gotten myself into a bit of trouble tonight. If you would please just help me out in some way. I think I'm saying this. I'm like, she's called paramedics. They've warmed me up. They've taken me back to the Airbnb. I didn't have the key, so I'm just like, they've put me on the lobby on the couch. Airbnb host wakes up at 8 a.m. He lets me into the room where my suitcase is. I have a sleep for 2 hours. Then I get up. Then we drive to Toronto, and then I do my show.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah.
People always tell me their biggest secrets.
Really?
So often. Anyone, women, men.
Do you want to drop us
And
some?
they go, I've never told anyone this before.
Wow.
And they're, I don't know why I'm telling you. Sorry, I've never told anyone. I go, it happens all the time. It happens all the time.
And then you just lock it away within you?
And I never tell.
Yeah, that's
I'm
good.
very sincere in that way.
How do you feel holding other people's secrets though? Like a little vault?
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no skin off my nose. That's my new that's my new catchphrase.
Yeah.
Because what I've been doing is I've been showing people my tits.
Oh?
Yeah. Mainly
How does the skin off the nose?
women or gay men or exes who I like, who I'm friends with, and I'll just say, how's your day? They say, it's shit. I say, will this cheer you up? I just take a picture of my tits, send it to them, and then they say, brilliant, that did cheer me up. And I say, no skin off my nose. I want to get that in my show.
Look,
as well.
are you going to put your tits in your show?
No, maybe, but I'm going to make all the straight men close their eyes.
Okay.
Just as a punishment.
Yeah. You don't get to see the tits.
Yeah, but the women do, and they like them. Honestly, I only get good feedback. People just say it makes them smile.
This was over a decade ago. I was doing Junglers in Nottingham, okay? And it had moved venues a few times, and at this point, it was in a club that used to be a cathedral, I think. Like, it's huge, or like a church, something.
Yeah.
It's a nightclub, massive ceiling.
Love it.
Tiny stage. We arrived at the venue. The audience, because it hadn't sold well that night, the tables were about 20 feet apart.
Oh, no.
Stretched out over this whole cathedral of a space. And I got there and I was like, can we not move the tables closer to the stage? And the manager was like, oh no, we can't, we're trying to make it look busier. I was like, you could fit a comedy club between the tables of this venue. Like, you move it closer. They were like, no, not happening. So, okay. So we ended up, I think maybe there was 40 in there in a room that could easily fit 500. It was a big old room. And we're there performing and the bar is close. And I had been on, I think I was opening. And then the next act was going on. And there was dripping coming from the aircon, right?
Okay.
This made the news, what I'm about to tell you, right? There was dripping coming from the aircon. And like everyone had their tables and their pints and stuff like that. And you could just see like drips going into the pint. And the acts were kind of like we were kind of like making jokes about it. So it was like, oh yeah, let's put the guy with the electrical device like close to the dripping from the aircon or whatever. Like, yeah, it's been a problem for a while. We don't know what it is. And there's a guy in the front with his pint glass there and there's like drips going into it. And the comedians were all commenting, and one comedian was getting like, it started coming down a lot heavier in the last section. And the comedian like looked down into the pint glass and he was like, oh, you got to drop water. And he was like, that's not it. And they went closer. Maggots. Maggots were raining on the audience. And the manager comes over and he was like, what? And we showed it to him. And like the people in the front were like, oh my God, like it's a fucking maggot in my pint. There's a maggot in my pint. And the guy came over, the manager, and he said, oh, we'll get you a fresh pint. I was like, that is the least of our problems right now, mate. Yeah. I was like, this gig's over, and he was and then it really started bucketing it down like maggots and stuff. And what had happened is a bird had got into the duct somehow, died in the air conditioning unit, and then weeks and weeks later, its festering body had rained down on the audience at the comedy club.
Well, luckily they were all sitting far apart. that's a positive. Just memory of any like weird gigs that you've played?
Oh my God, yeah. So I loads of weird gigs. I did a gig at Bath City Football Club for Mirth Control. Do you know Mirth Control?
Yeah.
So Mirth Control, a promoter, they used to run like 100 gigs in the Southwest. And I get there thinking it's a comedy night, and it's a 1950s swing music night. And it's probably, he saw me at something, the guy, I was like, so you think you're funny here? And he was like, do these open spots. It was like 30 quid. Yeah. And they'd had another comedian on, and he was leaving. I went, how was it? And he goes, awful, just good luck. And they're all dancing to swing music, and then someone comes over the thing and goes, we all need to sit down for the next comedian. And they're like, oh, for God.
Oh, you can't interrupt dancing.
And I'm like 19, I'm in a t-shirt and jeans, like they're all dressed up like the 50s, huge dance floor, and they sit down, and I start, and I'm dying. And I do a rude joke, and a guy was like, that's fucking unacceptable. And I was like, well, and we start to have an argument, because I wasn't told to be clean, apparently. And then some people are going, let him carry on. And then it just gets worse and worse. And at one point, I'm dying so badly, a woman went, you should just leave.
Stop.
Like this lovely lady was like, you should just go. And I was like, yeah, I should. And I went to the back of the room, and the chairman of the football club came up to me and started like screaming at, like he was angry. The music started back up, and he's going, how, you shouldn't have sworn. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. And a guy turned around and went, sorry, we're trying to listen to the music. Can you keep it down? And the chairman of the football club went, why don't you fuck off, mate? And they had a fight over it. And
no.
And so the guy gets up, so he lamps, so he's like, well, you can't tell me. And the chairman lamps him. And like, in a Western bar brawl when the music stops, everyone looks around and there's these two 60-year-old men fighting with me just stood there. And they get pulled apart, and I start to get ready to leave. And the guy goes, you're banned for life from Bath City Football Club. And I called Jeff Whiting, who runs Mirth Control, and I was like, this just happened. And he just went, well, you're welcome. I went, what do you mean? He goes, what a great story to have.
I was a stupid little kid. So in high school, we'd do bush parties. Like, that was a Canadian thing. You'd go out in the field and drink.
Okay, that's what it's called, bush party.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think people have like different words for it. But in my backpack, so I went to a garage sale. I found a whip for $2 for like a toonie.
He found a whip for $2, like the proper,
like a
Wow.
So I put it in my backpack.
Okay.
Because like, yo, if anybody like, if sometimes it'd be like other groups of kids who would roll up and they'd have like a knife or something and like it would get like heated.
So
and my thought was like,
if I bring out the whip,
if I pull out a whip, people are gonna be like, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is Indiana Jones? Just watcha! Because all you want to do is the sound to scare people.
So this is no big time. This is comedy brain now, right? So you're in the park, you and your friends, and then you see a bunch of other guys out there, and they're arguing, and they get a bit rowdy with you, and they pull out like a knife, and you pull out a whip, and all of a sudden the fight's about to kick off, and then you realize how it looks because all those guys are black, and you've pulled out this whip, right? See what I mean? You get exactly what I'm saying, and you've pulled out this whip. Saying,
We're talking the suburbs in Ottawa.
No, I understand. I just want to let you know how that could look, because I think it's a It just hit him. It just hit him. You got that straight away, but it just hit him on how bad that could look. Not only am I defending myself, I'm taking it back to my great-great-great-grandfather. That's how that could look if you're not careful. I just want to let you know, okay? Because when you said whip, the first thing I felt was a generational trauma. Like, he found the whip for $2, and he was like, you know what I'm going to put in my backpack is a whip, just in case we get into a fight in the park. That's what I heard when you said it.
How have I lived this entire life and not thought of that?
Because you're a good guy.
You play music, right? So a DJ battle is like, it goes song for song?
Yeah,
or?
no, you play 3 songs each based on the theme. So either room gives you a theme, and you've got to play 3 songs based on that theme, and then the audience votes based on song, but
How
also
long do you know?
your performance. Ooh. Who wins? So there's first round, then it's the semis, and then it's final.
Okay.
Yeah,
All in one night.
all in one night.
Now, how do you know? Like, do they give you the theme beforehand?
Yeah.
What if you pick the same songs as the other person?
They will tell you.
Oh, okay. You submit the songs before.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
okay,
also,
okay.
like, based on the theme, it's very rare that you end up. Actually, no, I lied to you. What happened last year at MacFest is the themes were countries. So people were like from different nationalities. Obviously, there was English, there was Scottish, there was Welsh. I got Barbados. So I said to Ivo, I can't just have Barbados because it's only really. There's loads of songs that people that are great bangers from Barbados, but not songs that people will fucking know in the UK.
Yeah.
So there's only probably like 2 or 3, and most of them, or as in like artist wise, it's Rihanna's the main one.
Okay, what's the Rihanna one?
So there's loads of Rihanna ones that I'm gonna play.
Okay, so it can be. It doesn't have to be a song that like references Barbados in the title.
No, it can be the artist, and then there's Alison. What is her surname? Alison Hines. She does like a song that's, if I play it, it's very popular. Mm-hmm. And then Rupee, Tempted to Touch.
Yep.
So those are the only like 3 artists that I could possibly have played. And I was like, I can't do this. So we're just going to go Caribbean. So I broadened it out to Caribbean. And Scotland took my song, which was done by Rihanna, because Kelvin Harris
is Scottish.
So they picked We Found Love, and I was fuming. In the back. Comedians with all they would know. I was fuming. I was like, this is fixed. Ridiculous. You can't
We get half the win.
Exactly. I was fuming. But I still ended up in the final.
Where does I don't like. I know the song. I don't know if it's British or from the islands, but we don't love cricket. I don't like cricket. We love it.
Yeah. It's technically Caribbean.
Because
no one was.
Would that not go off over here?
No. I did Who Lets the Dogs Out in the first round.
Okay.
I did a Rihanna song. Banging. And then I did a Nicki Minaj song.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, I'd crush you.
Yeah. So
I'd crush you.
No, you really wouldn't.
Yeah, I'd crush you with Canada.
Because not only do we give vibes, not only do I give you great bangers, I give you a performance.
You don't think I got nipple tassels?
And I can't remember exactly the message, but it was like, basically it's at this Turkish lamp making place, right?
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like a paint and sip, but they're making Turkish lamps.
Gorgeous.
So I'm like, okay, the money was fine. And also I'm like, whatever, I'll do it. So I think it was supposed to be like 6 p.m. I'm like, yep. And then I had a show afterwards. And then maybe the day before, he's like, hey, they'd like to move it to 3 o'clock. I was like, all right. So I'm already going to be like at this like Turkish lamp making thing. Now it's middle of the day, sunlight, like whatever. I'm like, all right, no worries. I get there and I assume we're going to be like, they'll stop their Turkish thing, because he was saying it as it's like they'll do their thing, they stop, and then they'll have some drinks and you'll like entertain them. Great.
It's a little break.
Yeah. So I get there, and also to make a Turkish lamp, if you've never seen one, it's like kind of like a round bulb almost thing, and then it's mosaics.
Okay,
so it's the most
okay.
intricate, delicate. You're picking up something that's like this, like tiny piece of glass and patterning it.
So you're essentially doing comedy to a room full of people playing Jenga.
Even more concentrated than that.
Yeah.
It's like hyper, because you're trying to put them in tiny tiles and they're like whatever. So I get there, and also all the people that work there are Turkish, and they were like, and they hand me a Britney Spears head mic.
Stop.
And it's in my pocket, and they tell me walk around and do comedy between the tables.
Oh my God.
So while these people are putting tiny mosaic pieces onto a round thing during daylight, I have to like go in between the tables and like do jokes. I could have had a heart attack in front of them, and these people aren't looking up, because it was like bachelorette groups who, instead of going to get fucked up, they've chosen, and they're not even talking to each other. They're like nerds. Like one of the table were like 4 or 5 different kinds of doctors, and so they're like dorks. And then there's like another table where they're like on a second or third date, like weirdos, and just like the nerdiest and just sweetest, but like no sense of humor.
Yeah.
And so I keep taking the headset off and like just kind of crowd working each table to try to like be like, okay, we'll like socially stimulate more so, you know? And the Turkish like guy, there's one guy who works there, he keeps coming up to me and be like, you put headset on, you put on. And I'm like, babe, like no one gives a fuck about me. The headset's like crinkling, not working. They're not stopping. They're still doing their mosaic. And so then I have to start, and they're like, do jokes. And I was like, I can't be like, so is anyone dating? No one's listening to me.
Yeah.
What's so funny is Shad Wicker, who's a comedian as well, he was in Brisbane or somewhere at the same time as me doing the same thing in a Turkish lamp making, because they wanted it at 2 different locations.
Oh my God.
And so after we just called each other and we're like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck did this happen? And the guys that at his thing, they were like way more dudes, and they were like rowdy and fun. So he was like actually doing stand up. I was like, that was.
Oh, so he had fun of his?
Yep. And what's fucked up? It was 3 hours, and it was like, you could feel every minute of every second. Like it was so painful. It was easily the most painful gig and I have done some really horrific hosting. What's fucked is I finished there, so it was like 3 till 6, and during the morning I got a call being like, hey, the opener for someone at Enmore Theatre can't make it, can you just come? And I'd never done Enmore before, so I went from Turkish lamp making to like
worst gig of your life.
Massive Enmore impressive cool theatre opening for an American act, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh,
it was so crazy.
It's comedy, baby.
Yeah, it was. It is comedy, baby. It was truly.
Yeah, I don't know why I said it like that.
Yeah, no, but it was. It like truly was that feeling. But it was like Shad and I have spoken about trying to make like each of us do bits about it, talking about that. But I'm like, it's almost like not funny. Like,
but that's,
do you know what I mean?
What's great is like that's a perfect example of how the crowd can dictate how good it is, right? Because in his case, it was a fun crowd who were up for it, but in your case, they were just focused.
They were, yeah.
I also picture you going up behind somebody and just scaring them with jokes, like they're so focused, and you're like, "What do you do?" And they go, "Ah!"
Man, have you ever been held at knife point?
No.
It's quite relaxing.
What?
I've been
What?
I've been held at knife point a couple of times, and every time I'd be like, "This is really quite calming." Because it can only go one of 2 ways. You're either getting stabbed or you're not getting stabbed, and you don't really...
Dude, you're like a Glaswegian Buddha. What is this?
Well, it's either they're going to stab you, and you can't really do anything about that, or they're not going to stab you, and you can't even really do anything about that. So, really, you're just now a part of this, and whatever's going to happen is what's going to happen. You don't have any say. So, I found it very relaxing.
Run.
Well, there's been certain situations where you can't run. So... you just got to kind of
Like if the knife is like on you or something.
So I got robbed in Dublin, and it was a really fucking weird robbery. What happened was I was really drunk, and I was walking back to my hotel, and there was like a homeless woman in a wheelchair, and she was like, "Oh, have you got any change?" And I was like, "I don't carry like cash on me." And she was like, "But there's a card machine right there." So I was like, "Right, I'll lift you." I was like, "What do you need?" And she's like, "I need €20 for a hostel." So I put the card in, put the pin in, but like the buttons didn't match up like the options, so you couldn't do anything on it. And I was like, I turned out to be like, "Yeah, this isn't working." Then a fucking guy was right behind me, and he was like, "You're lifting €200." And I was like, "I can't, the cash machine's broken." And then they pulled out a knife, and I was like, "Well, that's not going to fix the fucking cash machine, mate." Like, so I was like, "Right, well, if you get the money out, you can have it, mate." So I was like, "Right, there you go." And then I was like, "Right, I'll wait," because I was drunk, and I was like, "Well, I want my card back." Yeah. So I was like, let him fuck around with it. And then he was like, "Right, it's not working."
He admitted defeat.
Aye, and I was like, "I know, mate." And he was like, "Well, you know what's going to happen now?" And I was like, "What?" He was like, "There's another cash machine a 10-minute walk up that hill." So then me and them all had to go for a wee fucking walk together. So then we're walking to the fucking cash machine, and we got to the hill, and she was trying to push her wheelchair up the hill herself, but it was like really fucking steep. So she's struggling. He's getting annoyed with her because he's out in the open. So he's like, "Someone's going to fucking see me holding this knife to this guy." So he was like, "Hurry the fuck up." She was like, "I'm going as fast as I can." So then I was like, "Right, well, I'll try and calm this down here." So I was like, "Well, why doesn't she just wait here and we'll come back when we've got the money?" And then he went to me, and he fucking genuinely said this to me. He went, "We can't leave her here on her own. She'll get fucking robbed." She's like, "What the fuck is happening, man?" So then I was like, "Right, well, what the fuck do you want to do then?" And he was like, I was like, "No, I don't know what you mean." And he was like, "You need to push her." So then I had to fucking push her up the hill. Well, he's got the knife on me.
Oh my god.
And I was like, this is like the most humiliating thing that has ever fucking happened to me. And then I was really drunk as well. So about halfway up the hill, I was like, what happens if I just let go of her? Because then she's going to go flying backwards, and then he's going to have to do something.
Did you say this to the guy?
No, I was just like, well, if I just do it, then he's either going to have to like stab me, or he has to save his friend. So I was like, in that chaos, I can run away. So I was like, right, fuck it. So I just went like that, and then I stepped to the side of her, and I was like, just like ready for her to roll back, and then she fucking put the brakes on the wheelchair. So then we're all just fucking there. They're like, "You've tried to fucking kill her." I was like, "I was really sorry." She was kicking off. She was like, "You'd have never fucking done this to me if I wasn't in a wheelchair." And I was like, "Well, in all fairness, I wouldn't have done this to you if you weren't trying to fucking rob me." So I was like, I don't know how I've lost the moral high ground here. So he was like, "Right, I'm going to let you push the wheelchair again, but you better not let go of this."
No funny business.
So then I was like, "Right, I promise I won't drop her." And then so we got up the top of the hill again, and I was like, "Right, fucking put the money in," gave them the money, and I was like, "Right," and he was like, "Right, on you go then." And I was like, "Right." So I started walking off, and I noticed they were like still like they were walking the same way as me. So I was like, "Are they gonna rob me again?"
Oh my god.
So I was like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "Well, we're all going back to the same fucking bit, aren't we?" So then we just had to walk all the way back. So
oh my god, dude, that sounds so relaxing.
It was pretty relaxing, but I was like, the worst thing about this as well, where I was like, this would be a really funny bit, but I'm like, it's just too unbelievable. Like, even while it was happening to me, I was like, I don't believe this is fucking happening
Dude,
to me.
that's insane. I love the fact that you put him in a Sophie's choice. You gotta pick between saving, like, do you think it was his partner?
I don't
like
really,
partner in crime for sure.
Yeah, I don't really know what the relationship was between. I was like, well, is she like the enforcer? But then I was like, well, what's she needed for her? I think it's like a honey trap situation where it's like she gets you kind of in, and then he fucks you up.
Yeah.
So. Aye, but it was really fucking weird. And then on the way back down the hill, they started being nice to me. It was very fucking strange, because the guy was like, "Oh, do you like live in Dublin then? And I was like, no, I'm just here as like kind of like a holiday. And he was like, oh, so how are you enjoying your holiday?
Stop.
I was like, well, it was going all right for a while.